Hey guys, Richard at the Range. Just want to talk to you briefly again about Firesteels because I think it's an important part of my camping equipment, but I wanted to cover one thing I didn't cover in the other video real briefly, and that's about how to properly care for your Firesteel, because you may not know it, but these things need a little bit of care. You take care of your gun, you take care of your knife, you take care of your hammer, you take care of your saw, you maintain your tools. Well, this is a tool, and there's a little bit of preventative maintenance that needs to happen when we're using these. When you get your brand new Firesteel, it's going to look really cool. It's got some kind of protective coating on it that is usually, dark in color or whatever. But when we start to use this Firesteel, when you first start to use the Firesteel, it's not going to strike a spark. You've got to get that protective coating off, and you've got to expose the actual metal that's underneath that coating. They call it mesh metal. It's a blend of certain types of metals. Once we get under that protective coating, then we can strike sparks off of that Firesteel. But what happens is once we've removed that protective coating, if the Firesteel gets wet, if we store it in a damp environment, if we leave it in a pack or something like that and it can't dry off, this thing will rust in a heartbeat. So we need to periodically, if it gets wet, wipe the thing off before you store it. If you're going to store it for a long time, some people talk about getting like the hobby acrylic paint or fingernail polish. Some people use oil. They just rub this down with oil. Whatever you find works for you. Pretty much I think any covering will do. But once you've exposed that metal to the air, and especially if the Firesteel gets wet, make sure you don't store this thing wet. Dry it off. If you're going to store it for a long time, make sure you put some kind of protective coating back over that Firesteel, because guys have talked about throwing those in a tackle box or leaving it in a pack and coming back and basically it's melted. It just corroded away into nothing. With most general use, you're not going to have that problem, or if you're using a lot, you're probably not going to have that problem. But most of us are sort of weekend campers, or we try to get away once a month. It makes sense to just take care of that before you put it up, so the next time you need it, it's actually there. All right, hope you have a great day. We look forward to seeing you in the next email. Have a good one.